Hi, and welcome to this episode where I'm going to talk to you about some of the biggest curveballs that I think I've ever experienced in my 10 years plus of being in business. Now, you'll know that I only went full-time in reselling 2 or 3 weeks ago, literally in the school summer holidays. I made a decision with my husband that I was going to close my coaching business and give notice on my contracts. Most of my coaching contracts were with schools where I worked with senior leaders, and go full-time into reselling. And there's a little bit on that in one of my other episodes, but that decision was based on the fact that on very low-key part-time hours with not major amounts of effort, I was consistently making about £1,500 a month. So we figured that with double, triple, even quadruple the time and energy, which I can comfortably do, then I could maybe double, triple, quadruple my income in reselling. Who knows? A big, brave decision that we took, and Mark supported me. Now, running alongside all of this at the sort of start of August when that happened was also in our plan, the plan for Mark to take retirement. He turned 55 in March, so can access one of his pensions. And we were like, okay, do we really go all in and take probably the biggest risk we've ever taken and do this together? Or do you carry on and keep going with what you've been doing? Now, there's all kinds of layers of personal stuff intertwined with this, and it was a massive, massive decision. My friends know that ever since I had my heart attack 10 years ago, I have lived a life of following my heart, following my passion, and a true belief that life really is too short. What's the very, very worst thing that can happen? So he decided he was going to resign and come into the business with me. So he officially retires next week on Friday, and that's it. He's going to be full-time with me in True North Vintage, our vintage brand. So it's suddenly massively scary, like massively, massively scary. This feels really real, and what has been a little side hustle and a bit of a hobby and a bit of fun has become something now that I don't want to say feels pressured, because I don't want to work for myself and ever feel under pressure, but there is certainly a layer of, oh my goodness, we really need to do this properly now. And we have outgoings, we have, we need an income. So we've put a bit of savings aside to cover us while we scale, but we just took the plunge. We just thought, we'll never know. If we don't do it, we may always regret this. There are things now, as I'm 53, and I look back and think, oh, I do regret we didn't do A, B, and C that we wanted to do 20 years ago or whatever. So we just reached a point where we thought, no, we're going to try and we're going to do it. So officially from next week, Mark is in partnership with me at True North Vintage. So that was a huge, big curveball. It did come a little bit sooner than we expected. If you followed me on Instagram, you'll see I posted reels last year saying one day we hope to retire together and do this business, but it literally was just a dream. It was just a dream. And the fact that it's coming true, I think, is really down to the fact that we have adopted an energy and an attitude of determined self-belief. We are going to make this work. We have no choice. We have to make this work. And I have coached people for years and years and years in my trademarked method called the Brave Method, where I've encouraged people to be brave. So it was about, let's take a dose of my own medicine and get out there and do this. So yeah, that's all happened in August. Don't forget, if you've been following as well, we are moving house. So we're selling up and we are moving to Yorkshire. So at the moment we're in South Manchester. We are going over to Yorkshire for family reasons, really. We've got Mark's mum lives in Hull, my mum lives over here near Bury, and we're going to be halfway between our mums. It's a little bit closer to our daughter at uni, but she might not stay there anyway, so that was not a factor. But my youngest daughter, who really wants to study fashion, she fell in love with York College. So we're going to go and rent something initially in Yorkshire and see how things go, and then we'll take our time until we find our next home, wherever that may be. We don't know. So we've got all that going on as well. We were supposed to probably be moving in August, but it's solicitors on holiday season and all of that nonsense. So that's been a bit delayed. So it's been a bit crazy. I'm not going to lie. A little bit like life suddenly feels massively turned on its head, but I'm all for adventures and I'm all for doing things differently. And we genuinely believe, he's 55, I'm 53. If we don't make these changes now, I don't want to go another 10 years and be too old and tired or, God forbid, ill or, any of that stuff. The time is now. So we will be sharing and following along. Hopefully I'll get him on a YouTube one day. He just crop up now and again, his picture on Instagram. But yeah, Mark is a very grounded, level-headed, it doesn't sound it with retiring and just throwing everything away like this, but he is a very grounded, level-headed, calm, thoughtful, strategic planner. And he has mapped all this out and we've thought long and hard. So yeah, we're doing it. So that all went on. And then I had this horrific time with Vinted. Now I'm leading to some big news, but it's funny how things have evolved because we made this decision, and I do believe you put out this energy. I do believe in manifesting and that sort of stuff, that we've put out this energy like we're going to scale this business, like we're going to grow, we're going in together. And then Vinted started being the biggest mess. I can't tell you how irritating it's been. I got the messages to turn to Vinted Pro. Fine, have no problem. Spoken very openly about that. I don't have an issue turning my account into a pro account. That's not at all a problem for me. What I have an issue with is Vinted and its appalling customer service, support, response and convoluted methods in helping somebody go to Vinted Pro. So they basically asked me to take down a couple of listings that they said looked like commercial listings. They didn't look any different to my others, but I took them down. Then I got messages a few weeks later saying, no, we have reason to believe you're a commercial seller, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. So we suggest you convert to Pro. Now you can either keep your personal account and open a Pro account separately, or you can convert your existing account. And I really thought long and hard about this. And I decided I wanted to convert my existing account because I've got a name that I want to keep, a username. I've got reviews, I've got followers. And if I'm going pro with my vintage decor and accessories, those people are important to me. I want to keep those followers and keep that reputation. Thought that would be straightforward. Did all the stuff, sent in. I mean, they literally ask you for your life. So this is a bit concerning to me, I have to say. Passports or driving licenses, they want tax information, da-da-da-da-da. Sent it all in. No problem, your account is converted, off you go. Started going, listed a few things and got nothing. Literally nothing. It was dead. I got no likes on anything. I was getting no messages, no offers. It went dead. I was like, what is going on? This is really not good. So I paid £11 to spotlight my wardrobe. All the while I'm making no money on Vinted, which is a pretty big source of income for me usually. And still nothing, like really hardly anything. So I took some listings off and redid them and, had a little tweak of things like you do. Nothing for a week. And then at the end of that week, I got a message from them saying, your ID verification checks have failed. Can you send us some more information, like tax stuff? So I started faffing about, sent them some more things, came back again, found some information on YouTube saying the best solutions are to merge a copy of your tax return, your tax summary and your national insurance document, all available on the HMRC portal, which I did. I have now sent that in, and touch wood, I haven't heard back from them yet. So I don't know whether they've accepted that or not, and I don't know whether I'm verified or not. My account is running, I am selling things. They've literally got all of my information. it's a bit of a scandal, isn't it, really? Yeah. And then, having watched other people who've been through this and trying to suss this out, it struck me, first of all, that if you haven't yet done a tax return, if you're just starting out, what would you do? Because they don't tell you what they want from you. I mean, luckily, I've been self-employed for 10 years, so I've got tax returns. But if you don't have one, where do you start? And then equally, it's like you've sent all this stuff in, you're waiting to hear, and your account is ticking over, but it's not great. I then find out that it actually says in Vinted's terms and conditions that they do not prioritise pro accounts. I've found that on somebody's YouTube. I've done a screenshot. I'll try and put it here if I can. I don't know if I'm smart enough with my editing, but there's information in Vinted's terms and conditions that they do not prioritise pro accounts. So what they are doing, obviously, is expecting pro accounts to boost and pay and spotlight. Well, I spotlighted for a week and nothing happened. So you've not exactly sold that one to me, Vinted, really. I'm going to see how it goes. So all this was going on while Mark was retiring, planning for retirement. And I'm like, okay, that's one of our income streams is like really knackered here. What do we do? So we started to really, sorry, I'm just getting my water. We started to really look at Marketplace again. With the house move, decided, well, while this hoo-ha is happening, I did have to shut my shop as well while I fulfilled all my orders while I was converting. So that was another reason I lost sales. 2 weeks of that. I started flogging stuff on Facebook Marketplace, like house stuff that we don't want when we're moving. Because we're going into rented, it's actually furnished. So it's been a really great opportunity to sell. And if it wasn't from Facebook Marketplace, I don't know what we would have done, because that platform has been fantastic in the summer. You've got all these people off who are starting to it's that summer period where people are decorating and tidying up and thinking about Christmas and blah, 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 buying furniture. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So I genuinely, the fear that some people have for Marketplace is legit. There are definitely scammers out there, like there are on every platform. I wholeheartedly back that platform for fast turnaround and helping you to keep things moving, because it's definitely saved us. And when you put energy into it and time into it, it's really, really worth it. I did a live in my Facebook group this morning and talked a bit about the strategy and stuff for Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, that was the kind of saviour, if you like. But here I am sitting there now thinking, well, Vinted is just a mess. We're going to have to start to scale and diversify and think about other things. So I have booked my first stall, and I'm going to go out and do a vintage fair in November, and I'm now actively seeking other opportunities to do that, because I don't want to rely just on online when these people, you're at the mercy of these platforms. And I have sold at fairs before when I worked with Leader UK. I love a face-to-face fair, so I'm excited to do that. That's coming. And we were just musing over some plans for scaling, and we got out car booting and shopping and buying stock ready for winter when the biggest curveball happened, and it is so exciting. I can't tell you. We got news that we have been successful in securing a double pitch at Harrison's Antiques and Auction Centre in Yorkshire. It's the biggest centre of its kind in Yorkshire. It's based it's Thurnscoe, which is like the Barnsley, Rotherham border. It's 20 minutes from where we're going to be renting, which is just phenomenal. And we got this call and they said, come on over, we'll show you the pitch. They were building some new ones. Oh my goodness. Now, this huge pitch. We've never had a booth. We've never had a pitch. Most people start with a cabinet and then they go up to the little pitch and then they go up to a double. Like, this is a process. We had this chance, talk about the stars aligning, to take this pitch in this incredible centre run by the loveliest people. And it was like, go big or go home. Like, do you want it or do you not? I was like, okay, we'll take it. But with that, I genuinely have this incredible sense of self-belief that we're going to make this work, because this has come to us at the absolute perfect time. I don't want to be online all the time because I'm so annoyed with the way that these platforms manipulate and manage and have this hold over you. I'm going to carry on online, but I want to do fairs and I want to go out there. And this pitch came, and it's like, it's going to be ready really quickly. You need to get yourself sorted, like be ready. We're nearly finished. Oh my goodness. So we just looked at each other and we were like, okay, what do we do? If we don't take it, we might never get this chance again. And of course, it's a financial outlay. We're losing Mark's salary. We've lost my coaching business. We are all in on reselling. But what's the worst thing that can happen, right? If we have to go and get part-time jobs or something, that's it. We'll have to do it. But we couldn't let this opportunity go. And these people, if you have never been to Harrison's Auctions and Antiques, oh my goodness, what an amazing place. And the loveliest, loveliest family that run it. I think it's been going for years and years and years, and it's, I believe, like 3-4 generations all work there. Fantastic. It is the best day out. You have to go, look it up. They also do these auctions, so you can definitely go on Easy Live and sign up to join in with the auctions if you can't physically get to the centre. So we visited, saw our pitch, came away. I'll do some stuff on Instagram. I'll do another episode showing you the pitch stuff. I've got loads of film to edit. We came away really excited, but then we're like, we don't own a van. You're still working, Mark. We didn't need to go and buy stuff. It's been crazy, but beyond exciting. In the middle of all of this, I've also got Scarlett, who, if you followed on Instagram, has been given this like modelling opportunity and this internship. So we were flying over to do a shoot in Wales for her. I've been up to York to see my other daughter at uni, dealing with stuff for her. With her, she's been home. There's been family coming and going, flying in and out of Manchester Airport. So we've been, giving people lifts, and like it's all going on. And we're like, we need to buy furniture to fill this pitch, and we need to start now. But we have a small storage unit already for our business, not big enough to put loads of furniture in. We don't have a van. What on earth are we going to do? So when we actually then took the call that the pitch was ready and you're starting to pay your rent, we literally dropped everything, hired a van, and we went driving all over just to find whatever we could to get stuff in this pitch, and then also fill it with our home decor stuff. So don't forget, at this time, Vinted is being an absolute pain in the backside. I'm selling on Marketplace. I just thought, get everything off the shops, off online. So I've delisted everything off Vinted, everything off eBay, take it all with us over to Yorkshire. So that's what we were doing last week. We had a van for a few days. We went to stay at the apartment that we're going to rent, and which luckily is available and we have the key for. And we drove around West and South Yorkshire buying stuff to fill this pitch. We filled we've filled half of it, and we've put a lot of vintage decor in there and so on. But we really haven't had the time because Mark then had to get back to work here and I had commitments here at home. But the team over there have been phenomenal. We have already sold some stuff, which is fantastic, really exciting. Got amazing plans for it. What is in there at the moment is not the long-term development of this space, but we need to be over there. Once we get moved over there, we can take our time and we can go every day and we can add to it and make it look really, really special. For now, it's thrown together. The other exciting part of the news is that because Scarlett, our daughter, has sat all of her GCSEs early, a year early, due to a knee condition, she's been home educated. She can't start sixth form college for another year, so she would be year 11 now, but all the GCSEs are done. She is going to have a section of the pitch and do her selling from there as well. And if you've followed me on Instagram, you'll know that Scarlett is really big into vintage clothing, like haberdashery, bags, belts. And because she wants to be a fashion designer, She's got carte blanche on a corner to design it, set it up, and her goal, like, let's get some more young people into this centre. Let's get out there. She's got social media, she's got TikTok. She wants to attract the students, the Y2K crowd. She has an amazing range of stock already. She might make some stuff, upcycle some stuff to sell in there. She's got fabulous bags, belts, jewellery. We're going to do a really lovely haberdashery bit with, maybe fabrics, accessories, all your bits for sewing and design. Really exciting, which A, helps us because it fills part of this pitch, but B, I think it's super helpful for her because she doesn't want to have a job. She wants to work for herself. She wants to be an entrepreneur. Mia, our other daughter, is at uni completing her marketing degree. There's a huge opportunity for her to come and support us with this business when she finishes, if she chooses to, and to help her sister. It's real life skills for Scarlett to actually grow something and learn about business. She's got a business studies GCSE already. She can take this however she wants, but it's hopefully really beneficial for the centre as well, because I did see when I was there young people in that place, and what better message to spread, like sustainability really matters. There's so much waste. Buying secondhand, vintage, antique is so important, and Harrison's are set up for everybody. If you're a young person buying your first house, literally, why would you not go there? They've got everything, literally everything you can think of. Scarlett saw it, she was like, I can't wait to buy my own house. I will never go into those big stores and buy that fast decor or that because there's so much quality stuff, like beautiful, all tastes, all types of things. And there are some stalls and pitches that are selling vintage clothing. She's going to really try and get to that young market, which I think is a brilliant, brilliant project and a brilliant opportunity for her as well. So this weekend we're drawing breath, we're having a bit of a rest. We're going to do some pension planning and sitting down and looking at the finances. We're going to do some business planning. It would be lovely to get on over to Harrison's and take more stuff. We have got more stuff here, but we're giving ourselves a little bit of downtime. And we're just going to focus on this diversification, this scaling, this opportunity. But we're absolutely official. We have premises. We are selling from premises. We're going to get into the dealing. We're going to, maybe we will get a van, travel, pick up stuff from all around the country, go to Europe. This is the goal. This is the dream. We've believed it. It's come to life. It's real. One more thing I will say. Through that, we've met already a couple of fabulous dealers, people who have gone out of their way already to help us. The power of networks and the power of talking to people and meeting people cannot be underestimated. And in my Facebook group, we speak a little bit about social media and the pressures of being on social media and so on. And some people just don't like it. The important thing to remember is that actually the power is often just within you, like near you, the people that you know, the contacts that you make, the places that you go to. I've always advocated for people getting in the auction room live, going to an auction and sitting there live, meeting people, seeing what things sell for, talking to the team, learning from the people who know their stuff. That's what we've always done. I've got an auction guide in my stand store if you want to have that. That's been out for ages. It's selling on Facebook Marketplace, talking to people on the doorstep. Did you know that I sell this stuff? I've got more of this. Are you interested? Certainly, if you've got buyers coming to your doorstep who are young students or young people starting out, I've got loads of furniture for sale. What do you want? It's having conversations. And I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in Instagram reels and how they perform, when actually the real beauty of marketing your business comes from the conversations, the opportunities, the talking to people. So I would really love to know what you think, where you're up to in your journey. Have you had any opportunities to diversify, to scale? Please don't feel any pressure from listening to this that this is the absolute way to go. Our situation is very unique. We have to make a living. We have to make this work. this opportunity came along. I cannot tell you how perfect the timing was. We're exhausted, but beyond excited, of course. But, you know, there's a pressure to make that work. We've got rent to pay there. We've got to build this and grow. We've put the money aside to make it happen. And I hope that you will follow along and support. And if you're in Harrison's, we are pitch 127, 128, upstairs, right at the end towards the windows. It's a lovely, sunny, bright pitch. Can't wait to meet you there, hopefully, because the plan will be, once we get moved over to Yorkshire, that we'll be down there initially most days, working on that booth, making it really top notch, getting out there, meeting other dealers, learning, filling it with all of the beautiful things that we have in mind. And, you know, we know the stuff, having spoken to the team, the stuff that sells. So yeah, it's all happening. But wherever you are in your journey, remember 12 months ago, I was literally just starting out selling my first thing on Vinted. So if that's you, keep going. Good luck. Don't give up. Just be consistent, small steps, and talk about your business. Tell people what you're doing. You never know who's out there listening and what opportunities are going to come your way. Okay, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget, if you would like and subscribe for more content. There's going to be lots of content around the booth, but we are still selling online. We'll absolutely be updating you on all of those things, particularly blooming Vinted Pro. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. All the best. Take care.